What would that look like to be in a country filled with cons who dare to sell the Eiffel Tower? Victor Lustig has tried to sell the Eiffel Tower twice, and we don't want you to fall into his trap. Still, do you want to fall for his cheap tricks? Victor Lustig walked the streets of Paris in a tight suit, while everyone was watching him. As he went past, people took their caps off as a symbol of respect. But if you think that they took their hats off because he did something great, then you might have gone wrong. They welcomed him with dignity, calling him Monsieur le Ministre, and Lustig nodded in response. Victor Lustig is the con man who has sold the Eiffel Tower twice. Lustig was a small and short guy, with his ears sticking out of his skull with a determined air. We can see that André Poisson, a businessman, had accompanied him, and they were together along the streets. While they were walking, Lustig pointed out buildings where the government used to conduct unfair business. Seems like Lustig once worked as a spy for the government officials in France, which might have helped him understand the things happening in the back end. After some time, they started discussing something which was completely out of the blue. We can see they are planning to agree to sell the Eiffel Tower. The agreement is such that Poisson would buy it from the government for millions of gold francs and then dismantle it for scrap. Additionally, Lustig assured Poisson that he would be the owner of the famous tower after a little paperwork was completed. Have you ever imagined someone dropping their ball by hearing tricks like this? We are still unaware of how Poisson was tricked by Lustig and made an agreement for the Eiffel Tower. Here comes another twist. Lustig was just trying to sell a fantasy rather than just a pitch. And there is only one issue. Everything about it was fake. From this act, you might be able to guess what kind of a person Lustig was. Moreover, you could have learnt the skills he has in tricking people. Hence, the government has tattooed him as one of the most infamous con artists in history. He was known for his scams throughout North America and Europe. A Twitter handle named Paige Bailey wrote about this famous act by Victor Lustig. It said that he had sold the Eiffel Tower by going to all the scrap metal agents in France and tricking them by saying that he was a government representative. He told the agents that the tower was getting unsafe and the government decided to scrap it. Lustig added they needed somebody who could help dismantle the tower and the amount of metal it generates. He said that the government would be pleased with the people who could take the work and would reward them with additional benefits. If you are a person who really appreciates what you do, then you might know about the importance of rewards. For instance, let's assume you've been working as a corporate executive in an MNC for the past 2 years. Even though everything is going smoothly, you soon get bored with work, and the main reason might be because you are not getting any kind of appreciation from higher officials. Hence, in the Lustig castle, we can also see that his tactics handle the agents by bringing up rewards. Finally, Lustig told the agent that it was a sealed envelope bid and that there was no chance of corruption. Hence, the agents believed him and started preparing for the bids. Now, to build more relationships with the agents, Lustig makes sure that he always gets personally connected with each of them. But the agents didn't know that they were going to take the bull by the horns. Did you know that Lustig is special in handling different languages at the same time? After leaving the school, Lustig used his special skill of quick wit and analysing the situation well to build his crime life. His ability to handle different languages added fuel to his criminal life. He used his abilities to do a variety of scams that helped gain a lot of property and money. Eventually, he turned out to be a professional con man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. You might be surprised to know that many of his initial con activities were done during sailing between the Atlantic ports of France and New York City. If you look back at Lustig's life, you can see that it was an interesting as a thriller con movie. We are glad to take you on that journey so that you can get to know more about Lustig. And we'll be sharing some tips in the middle, which might help you handle some such people. Victor Lustig was born in the Australian-Hungarian village of Hostin in 1890, and according to the officials at Alcatraz, his real name was Robert Miller. By the age of 18, he had switched from pickpocketing to offering rides to victims at Vienna's card tables. One of the victims said that he could make a deck of cards do anything but talk. Lustig's scamming stories don't end there. Like a pinball, Lustig travelled through Europe, going from Vienna to Prague to London and back. And wherever Lustig goes, he has a different strategy to con people. According to a woman who was Lustig's victim, Lustig had pretended to be a German count with her. Lustig asked the woman whether she could lend some money and that he would return it when the banks opened on Monday. Without thinking anything else, she agreed and Lustig had given a gold watch as the collateral. Nobody can fight destiny. The woman later knew that she was fooled when she identified that it was a stainless steel watch dipped in gold paint. In addition to this, he has a fake historical documents of well-known personalities like Abraham Lincoln, Marie Curie, and the Wright brothers. In another incident, Lustig was able to sell the newly discovered Mark Twain story. when he attended a magazine office. His pitching was so awesome that even the magazine editors fell for his words. Lustig also sold them a Walt Whitman poem, which he happened to have had in hand. Imagine you're a salesperson who is finding it difficult to sell your products. You try different strategies, but none of them work. Fortunately, you happen to hear about the man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. You got curious and decided to know the person's life and identify how he managed to do that. To your surprise, you started getting results after following Lustig's style. Caution, we're not telling you to copy Lustig's life. In every personality, good or bad, there will always be some things worth learning from them, and one such thing is Lustig's ability to speak and convince people. Lustig could also locate the millionaires' hangouts, and some of his victims have been playing around the poker tables on transatlantic ships in 1914. Together, he and other travellers set a series of signals which forced other players to bet on something null and void, and as a result, both of them piled up unexpected profits. Here we continue the interesting story of Lustig and the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was 38 years old when Lustig arrived in Paris in 1925. Parisians hated it because of many reasons. The tower was initially constructed for the World Fair by the principal engineer, Gustave Eiffel. Gustave provided the majority of the amount needed for construction, accounting for more than 32 million euros. Hence, you might not have any doubt about why the tower got its name. Since Parisians hated the tower, many petitions were sent to government to dismantle it. One of the reasons for the hate is that 60 tons of paint is required every 7 years in order to maintain the tower. What would that look like if we got exactly what we prayed for? This is the feeling that Lustig goes through when he hears the news surrounding the tower. Hence, this gave him the idea of playing with phony real estate scams. Without risk, there is no reward. However, Lustig decided to take that bigger risk that would pay him for the rest of his life. He took a room at a nearby hotel and paid the staff there to arrange a basement storage room. Additionally, he acted like he was dating a woman who worked for the government. Hence, this helped him get the official letterheads, which he later used to send to prominent business people. Many people came for the tower, and Lustig introduced himself as the Deputy Director General of Ministry de Postes et Telegraphs. Finally, he met Poison and agreed with him. Poison then stated that Lustig's knowledge of the government's corruption made him so believable. By the time Poison realised he'd been tricked, Lustig had returned to Vienna. Poison also lost his 70k francs, which he paid as a bribe. In the same year, Lustig again tried to sell off the tower. However, the agents now thought that he was crazy. They immediately called the police, and this time the news came in the newspaper. Hence, Lustig's Parisian story came to an end. What if you were tricked by such a person anywhere in the future? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our latest fascinating stories. See ya in the next video.